Good evening. I'm Christopher Sullivan Diaz, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska head coach Matt Rule announced today that Rob Ulrich and Jeep Wade have joined the Husker coaching staff. Ulrich will lead the defensive staff as the Huskers' defensive coordinator, while Wade will coach the Nebraska offensive line. Both coaches joined the Huskers after being parts of teams that won 9 games in the 2025 season. Nebraska track and field put together a strong showing in the season debut, earning event titles in 18 of the 29 events and setting 2 new school records in the Husker Holiday Open on Friday. Up next, Nebraska hosts the Graduate Classic January 16th through 17th at the Devaney Sports Center indoor track. In other Husker news, the number 23-22 Nebraska men's basketball team gets ready for its toughest test of the season Saturday as the Huskers travel to number 13 Illinois in Champaign. Tip-off at State Farm Center is set for 3 p.m. Central, and the game will be carried on Peacock, broadcast on the Huskers radio network, as well as on Huskers.com and on the official Huskers app. And finally, in the NCAA women's volleyball tournament, second-seeded Louisville takes on third-seeded Texas A&M with Nebraska's matchup against the Jayhawks beginning 30 minutes after the conclusion of that matchup. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through retirement of your dream. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter, gets it back, swings. Big block, Harper Murray, 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set. Pulls away at the end. It was a one-point ball game at 22-21. Final 25-21. The final 3 rallies belonged to Nebraska.
Dix posing with it, trapped. Is he going to call timeout? It's taken away. He just took that out of his hands. Here's Sam. Here's Frager. Frager over to Hoiberg in the left corner. Starts down the baseline. Puts it up and in and one. Holy smokes. What a sequence. The takeaway on the defensive end and the finish on the offensive end by Sam.
96-78 Nebraska steal for the Huskers. Nisley to Prince. Huskers have 3-on-2. Prince underneath. Williams leaves it for Hargrove, who scores a career-high 26 for Amaya. Timeout Penn State. 1:14 to go. It's a 20-point game. 98-78 Nebraska. 1:14 to go.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
All right, welcome into Sports Nightly here tonight, and so happy that you can join us. We have postseason volleyball coming up a little bit later. We'll take you up to JB and Lauren Cook West as the Huskers get set to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm Kyle Crooks. Jessica Coody is out today, so for some reason they have allowed me to take the reins here of Sports Nightly for the next 90 minutes. Could be a dangerous proposition, but we're here nonetheless talking Husker sports. Phil Snow talked today, and I don't know if you had the opportunity out there to watch the press conference, and we'll go through some of the clips of that, but probably one of the more energetic guys. If you're around this football staff, you realize just how much energy that Phil Snow has, and he talked to the assembled media today about a plethora of topics. Of course, he is the acting defensive coordinator for the bowl game, Rob Ulrich. Jeep Wade officially announced today, defensive coordinator Rob Ulrich and offensive line coach Jeep Wade officially on staff. They were been out at practice. I know Jeep Wade's been here for a little bit. I know Coach Ulrich was there today, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to talk to them next week and get them officially here on the Huskers Radio Network for the first time. So look forward to talking to those guys. Also, possibility we could have Coach Rule next week as well, just to get his thoughts as we head into this bowl matchup with Utah. You heard Coach Snow talk earlier today about this matchup, and it's a really tough one. Top 15 team, a Utah group that is heavily run-oriented offensively, specifically quarterback run game. So as a Husker defense, you can't necessarily run from some of the things that have given you issues this year. That comes with a run-heavy offense and specifically the quarterback run game. So a couple of things that we'll talk about and preview as we get closer to the Las Vegas Bowl, December 31st. Certainly excited for that. But we have volleyball tonight, and that'll be at around 8:30 first serve. That could be hit or miss, depending on what Texas A&M and Louisville do prior to that. They'll have a first serve of 6 Central Time, and the start of the Husker match will be 30 minutes after that. We will be on the air. We do know that with JB and Lauren Cook-West at 7:30, of course, taking you up to that. So they'll have full pregame coverage. I'll have some interviews over there tonight filling in for Jess, so look forward to being out at the Bob, as they like to call it, for an opportunity to head to a regional final, get closer to that Final Four, the national semifinal. I don't know if we necessarily can use Final Four for volleyball. I think that's pretty copyright to men's and women's basketball. So we'll say national semifinal and a chance to get closer to a national championship. It's going to be a big weekend, but you got to win this one against Kansas and then get the opportunity to play on Sunday. So you have the extra day off, which wasn't the case last weekend. You'll have that extra day off and an opportunity to play a regional final game coming up on Sunday. So look forward to volleyball this weekend. Basketball is on the road, which that is a tremendous opportunity. Quad one opportunity for both teams, not just for Nebraska on the road, but the way Nebraska's played this year, it's a quad one chance for Illinois on their home floor. So a top 15 chance on the road. A loss for Nebraska basketball this weekend doesn't necessarily hurt what could be their metrics and their resume. A win can only help and certainly skyrocket them. And after a 30-point win at home against Wisconsin, they made some big strides in the overall NCAA net, which is a metric, of course, that they use heavily when it comes down to the NCAA tournament selection process. So, and then you have women's basketball, which will tip off once again on Sunday morning. That'll be an 11 a.m. start to that one. Illinois State is in town before they head back into conference play eventually. I believe December 29th will be that next Big Ten game for the women when they play USC in town at PBA. But being at Pinnacle Bank Arena over these last 2 games has certainly opened my eyes. I've been around some really good environments in college basketball, but that one is right up there, what we've seen over the last 2 games on the men's side with Creighton and Wisconsin. So wishing all the luck to a lot of the Husker teams, and certainly exciting a trio of teams that just cannot lose. I think it's a combined 52-0 between volleyball, men's and women's basketball. Had a chance to get out at practice today. Just want to see the guys. I know it's a really good opportunity to play postseason football. It's not something that you get gifted to you. You have to go out and you have to earn the ability to play a postseason bowl game. And these are much needed practices here over the next couple of weeks for this group. And I had the opportunity to talk with a couple of Huskers and Donovan Jones and Dasan McCullough, who, Dasan's an interesting case, right? He has already entered his name into the NFL draft. But when you usually see that, you don't see those guys play in a bowl game. You don't see those guys go through the practices. But in Dasan's case, he wants to use these bowl practices, these next couple of weeks, the bowl game in Las Vegas. He knows there's certain things that he has to do to improve, specifically when it comes to technique, and you'll hear it in the conversation, and working with some of the new coaches as well. So a lot of good stuff from Dasan. Also, the youth movement in the secondary, and what is a veteran-laden group, but Donovan Jones, somebody who's wearing a black shirt this year, starting at that boundary corner that had to make a position switch, and to see him do that and pass with such flying colors this year, I think has been really eye-opening, and what Addison Williams has done with the young pup out on the boundary corner and his continued development. He's excited for the bowl game as well. So much to get into over this next hour and a half. We'll hear from Phil Snow coming up in the next segment. We'll talk a little basketball. We'll have Donovan Jones coming up later. But I did have an opportunity to chat with Nebraska edge rusher Dasan McCullough, entering his name. He's heard from a lot of different people, not just those in the scarlet and the cream, but those around his inner and outer circle that have texted him to reach out and say congratulations. His relationship with Phil Simpson, who sat in that chair over here to my left on the Husker Coaches Show and talked glowingly about the impact that Dasan McCullough as a veteran has made to that Jack edge rusher room. So we had a chance to chat with Dasan McCullough. But before we do that, do want to remind you, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Also, count on Medica to protect your team with affordable group health plans, flexible benefits, and the close-to-home care they want. Husker Nation, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Learn more and get a quote at medica.com. Really cool to be out at practice today and just see the guys really physical, intense, emotional practices as they get ready for what is going to be an intense and physical game. There's no doubt about it when it comes to Utah and a top 15 opponent as they'll kick off in the Las Vegas Bowl on December 31st. Still more to do, but do want to get you our conversation with one of the standouts on the defense, that is veteran Dasan McCullough, his decision to go into the NFL draft, and much, much more. And here's that conversation. All right, here with Dasan McCullough. Dasan, good to see you, and declaring for the NFL draft. Let's start there, just the excitement around that since that announcement. And I know you're out here practicing and getting ready for a bowl game, but what went into the decision to, obviously declare, and the excitement overall for the NFL draft?
Yeah, I just feel like about this time I'm ready. I feel like I've been praying on it a lot, talking to my family and everybody. I just felt like this is the best time for me to take it to the next level. Out here just competing with my guys, is getting better every day, still working on my craft, so that's huge for me.
Excitement from your teammates once you make that announcement. How excited are the guys you've been playing with?
They were super excited. They were surprised just to see me back here practicing with the guys, but I just wanted to make sure I ended it on a good note with everybody.
Yeah, I think that's, for some, could be a surprising aspect, is you're still going to play in the bowl game, you're practicing all those things. What went into the decision to then declare but also finish out strong here with the Huskers?
I wanted to declare just to let everyone know, like, I am done, like I'm not coming back or anything like that. But what went into wanting to play in the bowl game is it's a whole nother game of tape against the top 15 team in the country. I still feel like I got a lot left I could show out there too. So it's just, I feel like I got another opportunity of good tape.
Yeah, it's a unique opportunity, really cool venue, Vegas, Utah. What do you see early looks at Utah? It's a really tough team, heavy run team. It's going to be a tough challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, tough team, physical team, runs the ball really well. We're just going to have to be on point with our assignments and execution.
You look at your time here with the Huskers. What's excited you the most? And maybe when you look back at it, the journey that you've had here to the Huskers, what have you liked most about your time here?
I don't even know where to start. Everything. I just want to thank Coach Rule and Coach Simpson for the opportunity to come here, meeting my teammates. We got a really young team here, but these guys really let me step in as a leader role and really accepted me as that. So I really appreciate every single teammate I have for that. The relationships I built here with every player, they're going to go way beyond Nebraska. So I'm just really appreciative for everybody in this facility.
Chatting with Dasan McCullough, your relationship with Coach Simpson and the edge rusher room, what has that been like, that dynamic?
Yeah, Coach Simpson is like a second father to me. He's a real relationship-based guy. He wants to make sure you're doing good before how you're doing on the field. So he really wants to make sure your mental's straight. Coach Simpson's taught me a countless amount of things from technique standpoint this year, so I'm really appreciative for everything he's done for my career too.
How do you attack these bowl practices when it comes to technique, getting better? Is that how you view it? There's things you still want to work on?
Yeah, so I'm really just focusing on technique, all these practices, and we got about 30 minutes out of every these practices, and that's all we're doing is technique. So I'm really taking advantage of that. I'm not taking any of these days lightly. I'm just trying to stack days right now.
When you look at the defense and areas in which you liked how this team performed, when you look back at the positives of the defense, what have you seen this year from that group?
I feel like we had a lot of positives. Guys were playing really hard. We had the second best pass defense in the country. So, our DBs were doing a really good job of strapping up. I feel like as the season went on, our D-line started to become more fluid together as a pass rush group. And then the run is just something we always consistently kept working on every week. So I feel like there's a lot of things we do well, but obviously we're out here grinding so hard because we feel like there's a lot more we can improve on.
What have you seen from the new coaches, too? New defensive coordinator. I know you'll be moving on, but what do you see from the energy that those guys have?
Yeah, they brought a bunch of energy, and now they're all bringing that juice. I'm really excited for these guys heading into this next spring ball.
Have you had a lot of people text you, reach out since you've gone into, we talked about your teammates, but people around the country reaching out to you, friends, family, since since making the announcement?
Yes, for sure. A little bit of everybody. But I've been just trying to keep my head down because I know the work just starts here now. So, I mean, it's a long road ahead, but, I mean, I'm excited for everything that's coming.
When you think about when it started, the multiple stops in college football, what's the biggest takeaway in your experience of college football? Maybe if some of the young guys on the defense asked you for some advice, what would you tell them?
I tell the young guys all the time, if you plan on transferring, just know that nowhere is going to be a perfect fit for you. There's always something about somewhere that might not be perfect for you. It's about what you do and how you adapt to those situations. I went to 3 different schools but played a lot at all 3 because I feel like I adapted to the situations that I was in, even though none of them were exactly perfect per se. And I loved Indiana, I loved Oklahoma, and I love here. So that's really some advice I give the guys.
Final one, Dasan, but how would you evaluate just the overall experience of playing under Coach Rule? And we mentioned the word energy. He's got a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing playing under Coach Rule. I mean, he instills a lot of confidence in me. I mean, when I first got here, he was pushing me a lot every single day. So it's just nice to have somebody of such high stature just pushing you like that on the field every day. I mean, it was huge for me and my development.
Well, Dasan, congratulations entering the NFL draft. We wish you the best of luck, not just in the bowl game, but in your future. Appreciate the time.
I appreciate you. Yes, sir. GBR.
Great to hear from Dasan. Cool conversation as, again, going through bowl preparation, getting set for the Las Vegas Bowl, what's going to be a tough opponent. You heard in there some conversation just about how hard of a game this is going to be. It's a run-heavy group, a little bit different schematically, and Phil Snow said that earlier today. We'll hear from Coach Snow coming up in the next segment and what he said with the assembled media, but a little bit differently, or different schematic-wise when what you've seen in the Big Ten to what you might get out of Utah, but a heavy, quarterback run-heavy scheme. Also, they can throw the ball around. They have a really good running back in Wayshawn Parker, who spent some time at Washington State, one of the top defenses in the Big 12. Their 2 hiccups this year, they'll come in at a 10-2 record, so they're 15th in the country. They were in college football playoff conversations for most of the year, but they got blown out by Texas Tech, only lost by a field goal to BYU. Those were the 2 favorites in the Big 12 and played in the championship game. Of course, Texas Tech winning that game going away. But it's a really competitive Big 12 this year, and Utah was a huge part of that. Lines of scrimmage are what stand out to me for Utah. A guy like Dasan McCullough, he's going to have to make an impact getting around the edge against 2 high NFL draft prospects. Caleb Lomu at left tackle, Spencer Fano at right tackle. Fano is a guy who could be a first-round, I know is a first-round evaluation. He's an Outland finalist, one of the 3 that could win that award for best interior lineman in the country. That's an event that I'll get to host next month and perhaps could be calling Spencer's name. So it is a really, really tough test for the Huskers coming up. Great to chat with Dasan McCullough. We'll have Donovan Jones coming up later in the program. So still a lot to do. Can you believe they let me host this show solo for 90 minutes, and we'll take you up to volleyball, which we'll have a first serve coming up around, don't hold me to it, but 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's very flexible. Would have to assume that A&M and Louisville will go more than just 3 sets, so that could push things back. But we do know this. Our radio coverage will begin at 6:30. Look forward, I should say 7:30, and look forward to getting over to Devaney to chat with John Baylor. We'll have some volleyball conversations. We'll have a post-match interview that we will have on our social channels, on our Husker Radio Network Twitter account. Perhaps we'll put it on our Instagram account, but it will be out there for you to consume, so we'll get reaction out at Devaney tonight when the Huskers get a chance to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Should be a tough matchup in the regional semifinal. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Coming up, the energetic, always energetic, Phil Snow. He had a chance to talk to the assembled media today about what to expect coming up in the bowl game, what to expect over the next couple weeks, as he is the head honcho on the defensive side, the interim defensive coordinator. He has been considered to many as sort of like the Yoda, I think Matt Rule called him, of that coaching room. Veteran voice, has been with Coach Rule for a long time. How is he attacking these next couple weeks and a very good opponent in Utah? We'll talk about that here from Phil Snow. That's next on Sports Nightly.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Kyle Crooks solo here tonight. Jessica Coody is away, enjoying some time away, and she'll be back next week. Of course, getting ready for hopefully a trip to a national semifinal for Husker volleyball. She'll be out in hopefully Kansas City. Cross your fingers. She's getting ready for the bowl game as well, so a lot coming up. And we'll actually hear from Jess coming up in the next half hour. I should say the start of the next hour, the 7 o'clock hour, with Jeremiah Sirles with the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of Husker Athletics. So you hear from Jess coming up in the next hour. All right, well, we will hear from the interim defensive coordinator in Phil Snow. Energetic guy. It was fun to hear him at the podium today. And you know, it's interesting. It's a unique setup, right? Getting ready for a bowl game. You're not playing in a college football playoff. The energy, the excitement, the preparation. How is Coach Snow getting this team ready for this bowl game? Let's hear from the interim defense coordinator.
No, there's not a lot we're going to do differently. I think if you have followed my career, one of the things we've prided ourselves on is how hard we play, how physical we play, and we know and do our job. So that's my primary goal. If we can have 11 guys out there that know exactly what they're doing, all right, then we can live with the consequence, right? So that's what I'm doing right now, is making everybody accountable. We're playing physical, fast, and know exactly what we're doing. That's what we're trying to get done. But no, there's not a lot of new defense.
Yeah, schematically, a lot, and you wouldn't expect a whole lot to change. What could you realistically expect Phil Snow to install or take out or put in a handful of weeks getting ready for a bowl game and a really tough opponent? It'd be a lot to ask a roster to go in and have to change a lot of things, and you're starting to think instead of play freely. So for Coach Snow, and Coach Rule has said this when he was in search for his next defensive coordinator, we're not necessarily going to change a whole lot schematically, but what we do want to change is our physicality, our motivation, certain elements of the technique, yes, but at times you just have to have a stronger will, and especially at the lines of scrimmage, and perhaps maybe that's what we saw towards the end of the year is just the opponents having a stronger will at the line of scrimmage, specifically the opponent's offensive line. All right, motivation to play this bowl game against Utah. It's a chance to get to an 8th win, take that next step in terms of win progression, I should say, under Coach Rule. So to get that 8th win, what's the motivation like of this squad?
I don't really believe it's just the older guys or young guys. I believe that we have a lot self-esteem, we have pride. Whether it's your last, the guys that are never going to play again, I'm telling them, this is your last game. How are you going to remember it? Guys that have a chance to play in the National Football League, all right, this is a stepping stone, right? People are going to watch this game. And then the young players, your development over the next 12, 13 practices will dictate how you go into spring football. It's a critical game for all of us, and not just players, for coaches too. Guys, how we play on the field is a direct reflection of who's coaching them. I've always believed that. So it's our job to get them to play a certain way.
Yeah, and Coach Snow hasn't hid from the fact, and certainly went on the record today just saying that, look, we have to coach better in certain areas, get these guys ready to play. And I think the overall thought process would be, if I'm on the outside looking in, is it's a team that's hungry to prove something, that it's, especially defensively, it's a much different team than what we saw against Penn State. It's a much different team than what we saw on Black Friday against Iowa. You want the hope as a fan with what the performance is that you see against Utah, that there is the ability to have some optimism outside of the coaching hires and coaching changes and whatever gets brought in the transfer portal. There's going to be a big group of guys that come back from this year's team to next year's team. So can you build optimism in what you already have on this roster? Well, part of the newcomers that get brought in, and a part of college football every single year, is that not just players, but coaches change pretty consistently. And for Coach Rule, after the final game against Iowa, made the change at defensive coordinator and goes out and hires a guy which became official today, Rob Orich, who was the defensive coordinator last year at San Diego State. By every metric, took them to the next level. Also had a year crossover as the defensive coordinator at Idaho with Andrew Marshall, now a cornerback here with the Huskers. Interview process for Rob Orich was unique in a lot of different ways. He sat with Coach Rule at his daughter's youth basketball games and had just on-the-fly conversations about scheme and ideology and where he sees this defense moving forward. But also had a chance to sit with Coach Snow for about an hour in his office as part of that interview process. And here's Coach Snow's perspective on how that went.
Well, a lot of good things. Number one, you can tell he's real bright, okay? Really competitive. You know, he's an ex-linebacker, right? So you could tell he's got a competitive edge. And then I was impressed at his knowledge of all three positions, the front, the linebackers, and obviously he played linebacker, and the secondary, but really knowledgeable. And I think he has a real good way with people. If you talk to the people around here when he first came in the building, guys, he didn't know anybody. Nobody. And he was really personable and easy to talk to. But you could tell he's got toughness to him, right? So I think he's got a lot of great qualities. And he's got a lot of energy, being the age he is, right? So I think it's a great hire by Coach Rule.
Yeah, to impress Coach Snow is no small feat. You go on Nebraska football's Twitter account, and they put together, it's sort of a cheat sheet of the accomplishments of Coach Orich, who led the Mountain West in just about every single defensive stat category, led the nation in red zone defense. They were second in FBS in what ESPN rates as, they call it, stop rate. San Diego State in pass efficiency defense were third in the country. They allowed 3.2 yards per carry, which was 16th in the FBS, about 4.1 yards per play. That was fifth in the country. Points per game, so scoring defense, 12.5 points per game. That was fifth in the country. That was a 17-point per game improvement from the year prior with the Aztecs. And when you go with rush defense, pass defense, scoring defense, total defense, all those big defensive statistical categories took a massive jump from 2 years ago to when Orich took over last year as the DC at San Diego State. Final one here from Coach Snow, as we're hearing from Phil Snow here on Sports Nightly, met with the media earlier today. We had referenced the matchup with Utah. Just what challenge is ahead with the Utes, a number 15 team in the country?
So the quarterback position is rushed for 1,200 yards. That's just the 1 and 2, okay? The tailback position is rushed for 1,500 yards. That's 1 and 2, the tailback. So there's other yards out there that they have. The quarterback has thrown, the starting quarterback, for over 2,000, okay? 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's pretty good offense, wouldn't you say? Yeah. They've been over 400 yards 6 times this year on offense, okay? They've scored in the 40s over 600 times. Okay, so I mean, this is a really quality group, and you know, they're well coached, got a really good scheme, really a good scheme. Involve a lot of people. Now they don't really run a lot, but they disguise it by running a lot of different formations. But they're physical. Offensive line's physical. This is a good group, well coached, and the head coach there, I knew his dad, and his dad played for the Raiders. Was just really a hell of a man. I don't know Kyle as well, but I know he was raised by his old man, and that team has been physical every year. So you're playing a physical outfit. I mean, that's just how they play football.
Yeah, just looking at the numbers, the only thing that stands out where they've had some issues this year, Utah, that is, defensively, that's stopping the run. They give up about 183 yards per game. That's 14th in the Big 12. But all the other numbers, a lot of the time I shade in green something that's really good and red that something's really not good. And there's a lot of green on this chart for Utah, both offensively and defensively. A name that you're going to hear a lot, that's Devin Dampier. He's going to run a lot from that quarterback position. He's run for 687 yards, 7 touchdowns. His turnover numbers down since coming over from New Mexico, 22 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions. They have a backup quarterback who they run a lot, Bird Ficklin, who's tied for a team best in 10 rushing touchdowns, has run for over 500 yards, and then we mentioned Wayshawn Parker as a running back. So there's a lot of different elements in which they attack you, and they have 2 NFL quality tackles as well. So certainly a lot at the hands of the Huskers coming up on December 31st. We'll step aside here on Sports Nightly. Still have more to do, taking you up till 7:30 in our Husker Radio Network coverage of volleyball. Coming up next, we'll hear from Donovan Jones, young cornerback for the Huskers. Stay with us.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slated, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Kyle Crooks back with you here on Sports Nightly, flying solo here tonight, getting you closer to Nebraska volleyball. Start of our coverage will begin at 7:30 Central Time. JB, Lauren Cook West, Huskers and Kansas Jayhawks. But before that, continue along here on Sports Nightly. My conversation with Donovan Jones, one of the young pups in that secondary, really has had a good year, and we talked about a plethora of things getting ready for this matchup. Donovan, good to see you. We're out here at bowl practice getting set to go. Really unique opportunity to play a top 15 team in Utah. Really cool venue, NFL Stadium. How excited is the group to get the opportunity, one, to play a bowl game, but have a really good opponent?
Yeah, definitely really excited, and you can tell by the way we're practicing, and I just feel like the guys are in tune, and they know in these next 19, 20 days, they're got to be the most important days. Like, we're working hard on and off the field, and we got to, because like you said, it's the top 15 team, and we need to prepare like it. So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
And you have the black shirt on, and you've had a really good year stepping in as the starting corner on the outside. And you look at your development this year and being thrust into that position. How do you think you've grown the most on the field?
Definitely grown a lot, just for it being kind of like my first year fully doing corner, like really ever, or since like middle school. But yeah, I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot more used to it, especially, and I'm still working on doing everything with my footwork in the press, but like just like having vision out there and knowing run and pass reads, like definitely feel like I did good in that this year, but a lot to improve from.
Hardest part of that transition for you, is it the footwork, just the overall technique aspect of it? Is that the hardest part of it?
I'd say, yeah, like you're guarding people at safety one-on-one, but not as much as corner. You're really on an island out there. Like safety, it's a lot more vision-based. But, yeah, it's definitely new, and I'm working on footwork almost every day just with me and a couple of teammates, so, yeah.
Competitor in you, do you like that aspect of the position that you're out on an island, sort of one-on-one a little bit more?
Yeah, that's why I kind of feel like I got into it pretty smoothly just because, like, I'm a compete. Like, I'm not just going to go out there. Even if I lose the rep from the line of scrimmage, I know I can go back and get back on that rep and still have a chance to win it.
How have you liked the energy of some of the new coaches, especially new defense coordinator? I know was here out at practice and officially announced today. What's the energy like with a new DC?
Yeah, he's been coming to a couple meetings and just here in practice, and he has a lot of energy, and he's talking to every player, helping out during practice. So I love him so far. We're definitely going to get a deeper connection. So yeah.
Your relationship with Addison Williams, I've had a chance to talk to him a bunch, but somebody who seems to be loved in that room overall. How has he maybe helped you in that transition to corner?
Yeah, I would say Coach Addy, like, he's pushing me. He's not, just because it's my, like, really first year playing corner, he's not taking it easy on me. If I mess up, he's going to get in my ear about it. Like, really, he gets in my ear the most just because he knows how good of a player I can be and how much I need to step up and just become a leader here in this group.
Some of the veteran guys, I mean, I always see Sierra out here getting extra work in. I'm sure you're one of those guys too. But the veteran players in that secondary, how have they helped you along?
A lot, just extra work especially, and just really explaining, like, the game isn't, like, it's not going to come smooth. You got to work for everything that you get, and you got to not just go out there blindly. Like, you got to know what your other DBs are doing. You got to keep communicating. And, yeah, they've put a lot in my ear, him, Dasan, Keys, and Malcolm, too. Like, those guys are big, and they're going to be great eventually.
Coach Rule had you guys rounded up, and just overall, what's his message been? Because not everybody gets a chance to play an extra game, play a bowl game. You guys have earned that. What's his message about how you guys need to attack it?
To get better every day, because, like, really anybody could play in this bowl game. So, like, he's just trying to get everybody better each and every day. He talks about, like, just these 3 categories that we're in, and people know where they are and where they need to improve from. So, yeah.
You look at Utah, really good team. You got some time before you kick this thing off, but do you have any early impressions of what you may see on the other side?
Yeah, like we've already watched, like, some film on them, and it's just their offense is a lot of running and, like, wildcat quarterback run, and then obviously they're going to pass it too. So yeah, we just got to tone in on the details in film and apply it here in practice when it comes to us.
Chatting with Donovan Jones, you invite the physicality aspect to one. You probably need to come up and make some plays in the run game. What was the physicality needed when you played a season in the Big Ten? What did you learn maybe about that, the physicality aspect of your position?
Yeah, I mean, got introduced really that Michigan game. Like, that just set the tone for the season. Like, that was a Big Ten physical game, and I just kept going with that the rest of the year. I know that the corners are going to need to fit, and we're going to need to make tackles, because that's where mainly they want to get the runs to corners, because they say they can't tackle.
Well, Donovan, we know you can tackle. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the time. Best of luck with the rest of these practices, and we'll see you out in Vegas.
Appreciate it.
Great to chat with Donovan Jones, and excited to see how he shows out. He mentioned the physicality that's going to be necessary to play in this game. They're going to need everybody, safeties, corners, to come up and play the run game. We know that Donovan is up for the task. We continue along. More coming up here on Sports Nightly as we finish up the first hour, chat some hoops, then getting you ready for the sideline slice as well, and some Husker volleyball. That's next.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same: a wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Hour of Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks back with you. Jessica Coody will be back as part of the sideline slice for the start of the next hour, taking you up till pregame. Jeremiah Sirles, Jessica Coody with the Valentino's Pizza sideline slice. Valentino's the official pizza of Husker Athletics, so you hear from them talking all things Husker football. Want to just mention quickly before we get to the end of this hour, basketball, men's basketball will be on the air tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central pregame with Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith, coming off that 30-point win against Wisconsin, largest in series history against the Badgers, and Nebraska's biggest winning margin in conference action. You have to go back about 9 years, since 2016. So certainly they're on a torrid pace at the current moment. 32nd win for Fred Hoiberg over a ranked opponent. So a lot to like. Be a top 15 team. 13th in the country is Illinois. And again, 2 p.m. Central pregame start to our coverage. Still more to do. We'll have the sideline slice coming up in the start of our second hour, getting you closer to Nebraska volleyball. That is next as you listen to Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Good evening. I'm Christopher Sullivan Diaz, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Experience Advisor at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska head coach Matt Rule announced today that Rob Ulrich and Jeep Wade have joined the Husker coaching staff. Ulrich will lead the defensive staff as the Huskers defensive coordinator, while Wade will coach the Nebraska offensive line. Both coaches joined the Huskers after being part of teams that won 9 games in the 2025 season. Nebraska track and field put together a strong showing in their season debut, earning event titles in 18 of the 29 events, setting 2 new school records in the Husker Holiday Open on Friday. Up next, Nebraska hosts the Graduate Classic, January 16th through the 17th at the Devaney Sports Center indoor track. And finally, in the NCAA Women's Volleyball Tournament, second-seeded Louisville takes on third-seeded Texas A&M, where the Cards currently lead 1-0. Nebraska's matchup against the Jayhawks beginning 30 minutes after the conclusion of that matchup. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter, gets it back, swings. Big block, Harper Murray, 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set. Pulls away at the end. It was a one-point ball game at 22-21. Final 25-21. The final 3 rallies belonged to Nebraska.
Dix posing with it, trapped. Is he going to call timeout? Oh, it's taken away. He just took that out of his hands. Here's Sam. Here's Frager. Frager over to Hoiberg in the left corner. Starts down the baseline. Puts it up and in and one. Holy smokes. What a sequence. The takeaway on the defensive end and the finish on the offensive end by Sam.
96-78 Nebraska steal for the Huskers. Nisley to Prince. Huskers have 3-on-2. Prince underneath. Williams leaves it for Hargrove, who scores a career-high 26 for Amaya. Timeout Penn State. 1:14 to go. It's a 20-point game. 98-78 Nebraska. 1:14 to go.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Back here for the second hour of Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks flying solo today. As coming up just a little bit, Jessica Coody will be back as part of the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of Husker Athletics. Jeremiah Sirles, who we threw out yesterday, perhaps could be a part of the rifle team. We had the rifle coach in here. He's just he likes hunting. That's his big hobby. I know I get on him for that, but maybe he could be a part of the rifle team moving forward. Who knows? But we do know that he is going to be on the show moving forward as they will talk some Husker football, college football, everything football here coming up on this segment. The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs Solutions for every field. Well, we touched on a lot of Husker football in the first hour. We heard from Phil Snow, heard from Dasan McCullough, also chatted with Donovan Jones. I think my read on it is it's a team that is eager to get out there, eager to prove something. You know, if you look at the Vegas line, you're playing in Vegas, so I guess we'll reference the Vegas line. I think some of the point spreads have this at 15.5 points. Now, I warn people that, you know, you could, in the regular season, maybe that line is something that you could sink your teeth into. But in postseason, when you don't know who's playing, who's opting in, who's opting out, if you believe Coach Rule that, you know, aside from Emmett Johnson, aside from Rocco Spindler, who won't play in the bowl game, that everybody's a go, that's a good sign, including T.J. Lateef, who Coach Rule said has practiced dealing with that hamstring issue that he had aggravated against Iowa. So on Nebraska's side, that's good news. Now, for Utah, you don't know, is there a coach going to be the coach moving forward in terms of retirement? You know, apparently he had a deadline to let the Utah Athletic Department, Kyle Whittingham, know if he was going to come back for another year. They have a head coach in waiting and their defensive coordinator. So is there a transition there? Now, that could add to maybe getting some of these other guys to play and the emotion of that game for Utah. But are there 2 big-time tackles going to play in the game? who's going to opt out from the Utah side of things to maybe even out the playing field a little bit. Those are some things that we don't have answers now here in approaching mid-December. The game won't be until the end of the month. We sit on December 12th, not having a full picture of what this game will look like, but we do know that the Huskers, talking to Dasan and Donovan, seem to have a pretty good hunger to play in this game and prove some of the doubters wrong. Really fired up to watch men's basketball tomorrow to see how they attack this challenge. Said it yesterday. This is the first true road environment. I know Fred has said that playing in Kansas City, the game against Kansas State was one that maybe you can chalk up where the crowd wasn't on the Huskers' side in terms of percentages. But this is the first true road environment that the Huskers are going to go into. How do they adapt to it? I think with a veteran backcourt, with an overall veteran team, I think that's what allows Nebraska basketball fans to dream a little bit, because in college, when things are, you could rely on some younger guys and players that haven't played a whole lot of games. That can make seasons so up and down and have your peaks and valleys. But when you have a veteran team, perhaps it could steady the ship a little bit. There's going to be some downs in this season. It's a long marathon of a season, especially when you go on the road in the Big Ten. You want to be able to handle home floor in Big Ten basketball, which so far so good for the Huskers. But what can you do on the road? That's what really adds to that resume. But don't want to stroll too far away from Husker football, because we have a great conversation coming up here with Jessica Coody and Jeremiah Sirles as part of the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza. We will have Husker volleyball coverage with JB and Lauren Cook-West will be coming up at the bottom of the hour, so make sure you stay tuned with them, and they'll have the entire play-by-play of the Huskers as they take on the Kansas Jayhawks here tonight from Bob Devaney Center. All right, coming up, our excerpt of Sideline Slice, Jessica Coody and Jeremiah Sirles talking some Husker football.
You and I have talked about this repeatedly, how you have to continue to grow that and develop from within. You cannot rely on the transfer portal alone. And when you miss or don't get the guys that you need, it haunts you for a long time. But big getting those 3 guys that they got this year in this year's signing class, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've heard me say it on here, and I'll say it again. You build O-linemen in-house. You develop them from within. You take them as pieces of clay when they walk in, and you hand them to Corey Campbell and say, grow. Right. And you just give it to them and you roll with it, and you build them up bigger, faster, stronger. And then you take them from the technique driven standpoint, and then they stay within the same technique for now, hopefully multiple years under the new O-line coach, and say, okay, you now mold him from a technique standpoint of what you want. And you work with Corey Campbell and get bigger and be 320 pounds of just a twisted steel killing machine. And we'll roll you out there. And here we go. I love that we put an emphasis on that. I think it's a really important piece of what we want to do. It's been a really important piece of Nebraska's history and how they've had success. So yes, music to my ears to have 3 big O-line commits on National Signing Day.
And it's been a lot of guards, but it seems like a couple of guys that could actually maybe true tackles in terms of what their builds are. But you like the guy out of Arizona. You're a big fan of Rex Waterman.
I do like Rex Waterman a lot. I think he's a really good athlete. And that's when you kind of look at for players coming in at the high school level of, hey, yes, do you have the frame, right? Do you have the frame to pack on for you to be 310, 315? Like, that's priority number one. If you don't, you're like, oh, I don't know. And then from there you go, how does he move, right? How does he move? Can he move super well at this weight so that if he does get up to 310, 315, does those athletic traits transfer over? Or is it, hey, he's already kind of a limited athlete at 275, 285 in high school. I'm not sure what he's going to look like when he gets above 300 pounds. And that's the hard evaluation when you look at players at the high school level. And so I think, looking at Rex Waterman, you see his film, you see the way he moves, he glides across the grass, he throws his hands well, and you're going, okay, he's got the athletic profile. Now let's see what he can look like when you throw him out on the field and give him a year to develop and just start eating people.
I think you're really going to like the tight end, Luke Sorensen, as well. He started out as an offensive lineman, and I've told this story a few times, but his high school coach had talked about how a lot of times when you get tight ends, they're usually like wide receivers that grew or maybe more natural pass catchers, and they have to learn how to block, but it was the opposite with Luke. He knew how to block. It was natural to him to block, and he had to learn how to catch the football. And I ran into Marcus Satterfield earlier today, and he said, And I said, man, he might be my favorite in this class. And he's up in the UCLA in the stands, shirtless, waving his shirt around. And he said, he's a meathead in the best possible way. Like, he wants to get in the weight room and grind, and he wants to work hard, and he doesn't care about getting the glory. I mean, this is just I feel like going to be a big locker room guy and kind of fit that tight end that you love a lot.
Yeah, you cannot put a price on a blocking tight end. You just can't, right? And if you could take every position and start them at O-line and let them be molded and grown in an O-line room, and then be able
we
to
also have a wide receiver that started out as an offensive lineman
fly
too.
Free DB, fly free wide receiver. Like, they're going to just be like, yeah, man, teammates, locker room guys. But you don't have that luxury because we're usually the least athletic people on the field. But when you have the guy that's the mentality that he brings to the position, is that O-line, we're like mushrooms, put us in the dark and feed us crap and watch us grow. Like, that's the kind of piece you want. And then you put that in a tight end's body that's going to be able to run out of 11 personnel or be that big body in 12 personnel, but also have the ball skills to be able to stretch a defense, put pressure on the safeties, box the guys out, and go up and high point the football. Those are the type of dudes that are hard to find. And if you can find one of those guys, you latch on to them and you help them, because those dudes can be so hard to defend against the older they get.
Okay, last thing I have on just like the signing day part of it, we had a chance to chat with the general manager, Pat Stewart, live on the signing day show. And you've had some interactions with him, and just, again, across all of college football, you've got a good pulse on this. And I walked away really impressed with just his overall perspective, how he's handling it. It's kind of one of those, it's a new position. You're not really sure exactly what's all going into it, but I was really fascinated by his take on things, and it seems like you've been pretty impressed as well with just, and it's super beneficial, right, to have somebody that's from the NFL come in and manage a roster like Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can bring someone in, especially from the Patriots organization, that's been one of the top tier organizations in the NFL for a long time, and then come in and, hey, help me build my front office, which is what's being built across all of college football now at every Power 4 university. You got to have a strong leader in that role. And I think with Coach Rule on the coaching side, and then you have Pat Stewart on the building the cap and GMing and structuring contracts proper ways, that's really important in today's era of college football. And I can tell you, in working with schools across the country, it's always more beneficial. And I've always been able to have the better conversations with the people that come from the NFL, because there's a certain language that is spoken in the NFL, from agent to GM, agent to pro personnel director to cap director to director of player personnel to scout. Like, there's just lingo that is discussed. And when you can have that conversation about a college football player, there's a level of respect and there's a level of mutual understanding there, versus I can't tell you how many people I've talked to. They're like, oh, it's so nice talking to an actual agent and not some dude's pastor that's representing him. Right. And so it's the similar end on mine. It's super nice to talk to someone that understands how to structure a cap and understands the creativity that can go into these contracts to make sure that there's a mutually beneficial way for everyone to go about it. And I think Pat Stewart's done a phenomenal job with that, and he's going to continue to do a great job with that. And he's a huge asset of how we want to structure and build things here and be on the forefront, like Coach Rule talked about, of pushing the envelope of how do we build the best team while staying within the rules and the regulations that we need to fall under, and having make sure that everyone feels cared for and not feel slighted, but also understanding that it's a business now. And there's a lot of hats that he's going to have to wear besides just GM. And I think that he's very well suited. I actually met him for the first time at the NFL Combine last year through a mutual friend. Got to know him really well over at the pool at Firethorn. I've watched him go to his kids at the flag football game. So I've got to meet and interact with Pat on a lot of different capacities. And I think he's doing a great job for Nebraska so far.
Great stuff. All right. Well, I got a lot of people want to know your thoughts on just the news with Donovan Raiola and Coach Rule deciding to move on and informing Coach Raiola that he would not be retained. In fact, that news came out on Saturday and already have his replacement. But before we talk about Jeep Wade, I think Coach Rule was very complimentary today. As the first time he had met with the media of Donovan Raiola. And again, going back to when we started this conversation, what he had to take over in the offensive line room, pretty depleted, didn't have the numbers. And a lot of those guys, when Coach Rule was hired, they went in and said, we want him to stay. And so Coach Rule honored that. And the offensive line got better and improved throughout this year. But as Coach Rule said, hey, he's a great football coach, but in terms of what we want to do and how we want to elevate it just was a time to make that move. But it was very complimentary of the job that Coach Raiola did. But I guess your initial thoughts just on the parting of ways with Donovan Raiola.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Donnie, too. Obviously, had great conversations with him over his tenure here at Nebraska, seeing him at practice and seeing him before pre-games. And so, again, I echo all those things that Coach Rule said about Coach Raiola. I think he did a good job while he was here. But like anything in football-related stuff, it's a performance-based and it's a results-based driven business. And I think when you look at what this year was and you look at what the last couple of years were, you can point to a few things of like, hey, from a developmental standpoint, how many guys have we developed and put in the NFL? Okay, it hasn't been a lot. Okay, from a recruiting standpoint, from everything, like it's just not at the level that you want it to be at. And if you're Coach Rule and the offensive line was one of the most scrutinized positions on the field this year, you feel like a change is maybe necessary, right? And as we're graduating a bulk of our starting offensive line, maybe it's a good thing to go get a change and start fresh in that room. And sometimes what can happen with coaches is the message can get stale and it's the same message and it's the same preaching, which is good with the consistency aspect. But sometimes when things aren't going well, you've got to shake things up and you need to bring someone else in that can come in and kind of reset the slate. There is no more favoritism. There is no more, this is his guy versus not my guy, or he was a transfer, not transfer. Coach Wade's going to come in and just be like, hey, you all are nameless, faceless people to me. Show me who's the best five. And sometimes that's what you need in a room like that. It reignites competition. It reignites people feeling like they have a voice, they have a place, kind of gives everyone a level playing field as they head into spring ball, into training camp. Obviously, he's going to be heavy in the portal cycle with when they want to try and go maybe get a tackle or a guard or somewhere in between there. He'll now have a voice in that as well. So I think overall, it's a bummer. I never like to see someone lose their job on that aspect there. But I also think that there also is times for a necessary change. And I felt like for Coach Rule and this staff, that was probably a necessary change that needed to happen moving forward.
Can you also speak to maybe, okay, so Dana Holgorsen comes in, he's thrown into a situation a year ago, and then when he takes over fully as offensive coordinator, he just brings in D'Kill Shorts, and then maybe you have two good coaches, right? But their systems and the way they do things just don't mesh sometimes, right? I mean, could you see maybe a little bit of that as well, that maybe just the philosophies, the schemes don't mesh as well as maybe what potentially could be?
Yeah, you always want to have congruency across the board from a schematic standpoint and a technique standpoint. And, hey, this is how I want things run. Well, in order for them to run like that, they have to be done a certain way. And one thing I learned from an O-line coach a long time ago is I will not teach something that I cannot fix, right? And so there's a lot of different ways you can skin a cat as an offensive lineman, right? There's a lot of different ways you can set. There's a lot of different ways you can have footwork and hat placement and hand placement. How do you get to your certain spot? And everyone's a little unique in that. But if I'm an O-line coach, I'm never going to let a guy in college especially kind of freelance and be like, hey, you just go do it your way. Because the problem is if you just go do it your way and you do it wrong, I can't fix you because I don't know how to coach it that way. And so you need to do it my way.
Great stuff from Jess and Jeremiah as part of the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Also, the Husker Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs Solutions for every field. Closing in on pregame coverage here on the Huskers Radio Network. Husker volleyball is back at it here in the regional semifinal. When the weekend is all set and done, can they find themselves to that final four teams in Kansas City? Would assume that it is going to be a Husker-heavy crowd for a national semifinal. And a lot of great things happening around Nebraska Athletics. You have 3 unbeaten teams with men's, women's basketball, and volleyball. So let's keep that thing rolling. And I know there's going to be a lot of hearts pounding, nail biting in Devaney Center tonight. So hopefully we hope Husker volleyball can move on with a victory, take on the winner of Texas A&M and Louisville. Big thanks to Josh Hilkeman pushing all the buttons on the other side of the studio. Look forward to having Jess back next week as we get you closer to bowl coverage when the Huskers take on the Utah Utes. More basketball as well next week. Hope to have the new assistants on as well, Rob Orich along with Jeep Wade, have them in studio at some point, perhaps Coach Rule as well. We say good night for now, but stay tuned. Volleyball is coming up right now.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of, and Blue believes in you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your